The perspective of Lindsay Clancy from a psychiatric patient actively undergoing treatment. Because I see my psychiatrist, I have treatment, actively see her. Hello. First off, y'all missing key facts, and let me solve this case like Inspector Gadget or Scooby Doo. Ooh. Key facts number one. She was on Seroquel. Her doses of Seroquel was doubled. Now, let me start this again. This is all alleged facts. Allegedly, 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 allegedly. I'm learning my information from the TikToks and from the internet. This is all allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. She was on double her dose of Seroquel, her recommended dose of Seroquel. The doctor prescribes Seroquel, not the doctor. Let me tell you about Seroquel because I took it. Seroquel is like somebody really close in your family dies and you cannot stop crying day and night, night and day, night and day. You cannot eat, you cannot sleep for weeks after weeks. And the doctor be like, okay, let me give you some Seroquel. Seroquel is something that's going to make you really sleepy and really hungry. Okay, Seroquel is like taking 4 Benadryls. You cannot fight your sleep. You're literally unconscious. So also when I heard that she fell from a 2-story window, I'm like, okay, you broke your leg and your arm, and you might have some nerve damage, bitch. Hello, you could still even drive to the hospital after falling out of 2 stories. But also it says that she was unconscious. So how I could see how she would be unconscious on Seroquel, double her dosage. You understand what I mean? So double her dosage and falling out the 2-story window. Yeah, she foaming at the mouth and unconscious. I could see that. I could see that. At what point, Patrick, did she tell you she killed the kids? When she was outside and she was unconscious, foaming at the mouth after her double dose of Seroquel? When did she confess that to you and tell you the kids is in the basement? That's what's not making sense to me. Okay? Then y'all worry about 82 degrees, the body 82 degrees. I could care less about that fucking... Y'all not forensic scientists. Fuck. F 82 degrees. That makes no sense to me. Like, was it cold outside? She's on Seroquel. Her body literally about to die. So it's getting cold, right? Anywho, right? Also, where are the videotapes? When this lady came to, who was in a room with her? What? Because when they say she, first of all, and it says online that she's pleading not guilty. Okay, so I don't know where I get that guilty verdict from. Now, if she said, yes, I did kill her kids, that's because somebody told her she did it. When, remember that series, When They See Us, right? And they coerced them kids into saying that they raped that lady. I believe that's what happened to Lindsay Clancy in the hospital bed or in the interrogation room, because we are not seeing those footages. We're not seeing those footages because this is what I believe what happened, and this is allegedly. When she fell out of that 2-story window, she was unconscious. Double Seroquel, like I said, from somebody who took it. Yeah, girl, you was unconscious, foaming at the mouth or what have you. When she came to in that hospital room, the nurse, she probably like, what am I doing here? What's going on? Oh, have you? The last thing I remembered is I was on the phone with Patrick and I told him to get some Marilax or whatever lax for the kids. And he said he was going to get dinner. What happened? Why am I here? Whatever. The nurse probably whispered to her while she was checking her IV, you killed your kids. And if the nurse didn't do it, guess who did it? 5-0. The police. And told this lady, hey, Nancy, you're in here because you killed your kids, all 3 of them. They're gone. They're not here anymore. No, I never did that. I could never hurt my kids and think. You did it, Nancy. You know you were on multiple drugs. You did it. Patrick was out the. Remember, you just said you spoke to Patrick. He was at the CVS, right? And he was getting dinner. You sent him on those runs, and that's when you killed the kids. That's what the cops told her. Now, you cannot, quote unquote, coerce an adult into saying something or doing something. Maybe if they was a psychiatric patient, you could. And me being an active psychiatric patient, when you're not on the right dosage or when the medication, you have an interaction, yes, you do believe that you did something terrible. I remember going through them phases where I was like, the cops gonna come out knocking at my door any minute, any minute, any minute, any minute, until it took me weeks to realize whatever I thought I did was impossible. It was just impossible. But it took me weeks to come out of that. You understand? So her being under all of this medication and in the hospital room, that's what happened. That is what I believe will happen. Patrick killed them kids. You need to find them investigation tapes, them interrogation tapes, when she was in the hospital, who the first person she spoke to, and all the things. Because that is my perspective on things. That is my perspective on things. And yes, Patrick did kill them kids, but his alibi was good, excellent. And I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Not only that, they say the fingerprints, her fingerprints wasn't on her own exercise equipment. I don't know how that's possible because it's her exercise equipment. So how can her fingerprints not be on it? But they also said Patrick's fingerprints was on it. So if his fingerprints is on it or the last ones who touched it, yeah, I don't think he did the murder. That was literally the murder weapon. Yeah, I don't think y'all should look more into this because his fingerprints was the last one on the murder weapon. That'll make sense to y'all. The whole situation crazy, insane, but I believe he did that. She was unconscious. He probably tried to wake her up and be like, girl, get the kids, get the kids. And he lured her to the window. Mind you, she on Seroquel, and Seroquel ain't no joke. Like I said, 4 or 5 Benadryls. And he pushed her out the window and then called the cops. I mean, went to the basement, called them and said, hey, Lindsay killed the kids. You probably should come get her. But I will give that man that. He had a great alibi. A great alibi. But them kids was dead before he went to the CVS. And why is he changing his clothes? Who changed their clothes at the CVS between the CVS and the restaurant? Who changed their clothes and their shoes? Because that's what they said they did. He did that shit. Find them videotapes. Find them investigation tapes. Because he did that shit. And like I said, she was just heavily medicated. And that's what medication can do to you. Make you believe that you did something that you did not do. Trust me, I have experienced that. With the lack of sleep, the paranoia, he did that shit. And this is all allegedly, of course.